Marvel Studios is allegedly struggling behind the scenes with what direction to go in with Phase 6. Quick disclaimer, this is not a celebrity gossip channel. I do not personally care about the alleged drama going on behind the scenes with actors. The news and rumors that I typically make shorts about cover what the movies and shows that they are in could be like. This channel is much more about the art rather than the artist. That said, the Jonathan Majors situation is reportedly affecting how the multiverse saga might culminate, and that's what we're talking about here today, is whether or not Kang will still conquer the MCU. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, you can look into the Jonathan Majors assault case yourself and form your own opinion. I'm not going to talk about any of those details here. I'm personally just going to wait and see how it all plays out in court. Just know that there are a lot of conflicting reports. So according to an article from Variety, Marvel Studios is allegedly considering pivoting away from using Kang the Conqueror as the primary antagonist of the multiverse saga. While I could see them leaning into characters like Doctor Doom or Galactus, I just think that would be a really strange decision considering how much work they've done setting up Kang in Ant-Man 3 and both seasons of Loki. Quick spoiler warning for the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, but at the end of that we see Scott panicking about Kang's return, which made it seem inevitable, and we also see in the mid-credits scene of that movie the Council of Kangs assemble. They did also announce that Phase 6 would end with Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, and Secret Wars, but they've changed plans in the past about upcoming releases, so that's not unheard of. It would be really strange to drop Kang now, just because they've done enough foreshadowing in this saga that the next big multiversal war should be coming, and doing that without Kang would completely diminish the events of Loki and Quantumania. But according to this article, it's being stated that Marvel Studios is considering this because of how Quantumania did at the box office and not because of the Major situation. I'm sorry, but I'm just not buying it that the consideration to move away from Kang just has nothing to do with the Major situation at all. With how meta She-Hulk was, it's clear that Marvel Studios is paying close attention to what the fans have to say. So they should know that Kang was actually a lot of people's favorite thing about that movie. I also don't know if the studio totally realizes that Quantumania's lack of success may or may not have something to do with the fact that the first two Ant-Man movies weren't the most well-received Marvel pictures. That and the fact that critic ratings do influence a lot of people's willingness to go see a movie in theaters. And Quantumania did not do too well critically, partially because of the fact that casual Marvel fans will have a very hard time understanding this movie with all the jargon about the multiverse, variants, and incursions. If you didn't watch Loki on Disney+, then Quantumania is borderline unwatchable, and that's where it lost a lot of critics. To fully understand that movie, you needed to watch the first season of Loki just as much as you needed to watch the first two Ant-Man movies. And the initial marketing for Loki Season 1 did not make it seem very important to the greater MCU story, so naturally, a lot of fans would skip it, not realizing that it actually served as the much-needed exposition for this entire saga. The takeaway from Quantumania should not be that Kang isn't doing it for them. The takeaway should be that they need to make their movies work by themselves and not fully demand context from a Disney Plus show about a totally unrelated character. So Kang wasn't the problem for that movie's less than spectacular box office run, and if they really wanted to go the route of dropping characters entirely just to make the MCU more likable, then by that logic, I guess they should drop characters like Ant-Man and Captain Marvel. So I really think they should keep Kang, but of course that then begs the question, do we keep Jonathan Majors as Kang? Again, I don't want this channel to be about celeb gossip, but I'll give you a few of my thoughts. I understand that canceling actors and recasting them comes with a bit of controversy, but we've also seen what happens when those controversial actors are kept around. If Majors is found guilty and Marvel Studios does decide to go forward with the Kang Dynasty, then recasting Majors would probably be the right call if they actually want to make money off the movie. We've seen them recast important characters before, so this shouldn't be that hard of a decision when push comes to shove. It might make some of those Kang moments I talked about earlier look a little bit silly, but that's okay. It just doesn't make any sense to put the MCU's future on Jonathan Majors' shoulders. Of course, those are just my thoughts. I'd be curious to hear yours down in the comments. Thanks for watching this video. If it brought you any value at all, please consider giving it a like. It really does help the channel grow. I'll see you later this week with my reviews of The Marsh King's Daughter and Priscilla.